The remains of Sani Dangote, younger brother of the chairman of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, who died in the United States on Sunday after a protracted illness, arrived in Kano early hours of today to be buried according to Islamic rites. But joining us now, may the soul of Sani Dangote rest in peace, and we commiserate with the Dangote family, and particularly Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who is a very good friend at Arise News and This Day Group. But joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Ifeni, the great Malabite. Good morning.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria Tundu, MKO Abiola.
Good morning.
Yes. Our hearts, I join Ruben in expressing our sympathy to the Aliko Dangote and other members of the Dangote family on the passing away of the brother of Aliko Dangote. Well, let's just start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, End SARS, it's time for healing, says United Nations. U.S. as Chief of Defense Staff cautions against denigrating army. Peter Side flays lies. Falana calls for implementation of reports. Yes, a number of newspapers are also reporting the aftermath of the submission of the report of the panel set up by the Lagos State government. Now, the Guardian newspaper, End SARS panel report, UN-US, Falana demand accountability. Defense chief's false procedure of release insists armed forces are professionals. Yes, we know the armed forces are professionals. But when they err, they must be held accountable. And I expect the Chief of Defense Staff, yes, he was pontificating about the professionalism of the Nigerian Army. You can't fault him on that. Yes, the Nigerian Army, they have been defending the nation. We appreciate that. But the Nigerian Army going out to shoot, kill, injure innocent Nigerians who were peacefully protesting, we are not going to accept that. And if I were the military chief, you wait till the white paper is out. But unlike what the military did, instead of sending an army officer to the panel to try and twist the facts, if I were in their shoes, I would send the military commander of the barracks from where those soldiers went to Lekki toll gates, who gave them instruction. Were they asked to shoot? That is an introspection I expect General Irabor to also take into consideration. Nobody is trying to denigrate the Nigerian Army as an institution. They are doing a good job defending the nation. But we cannot accept when the army go out, shoot and kill Nigerians. Whoever gave the instruction, notwithstanding. Now, the Punch newspaper also, Lagos NSAS report, federal government lists loopholes, UN, US, others demand sanctions. Yes, the Daily Sun newspaper, anger over Lagos NSAS report. Afenifere, Body George, PDP, others attack federal government. Sanwo-Olu report shows government lie to Nigerians at Adebanjo. Perpetrators must be prosecuted, imprisoned. Moghalu. We await federal government's action on alleged abuses. U.S. Lagos has no choice but to implement it. Falana. Now, the Vanguard newspaper also has that story. Acts on NSAS report, UN, US, civil society organizations, others tell Lagos State government. Now, there's another story just below the lead story. Nigerians set to recover $200 million stashed abroad, according to Malame. Yes, looted funds scattered all over the world, still being retrieved by the federal government. But how these monies are deployed, where they are, What is the total amount so far recovered? I'm sure Nigerians will also be interested. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, Lagos awaits response from federal government. U.S. awaits response from federal government Lagos over alleged abuses. Lead story. But below the photographs, Amnesty International, Nigeria records 11,200 rape cases in 1 year. Children aged 6, 11 raped to death. Wow. We have is it a pandemic or epidemic of rape in Nigeria? And not many people are convicted. Perhaps we have to review the laws concerning rape, stiffer penalty, and quick dispensation of justice when rapists are taken to court. Perhaps that will reduce the case incidences of rape. It's too many, one too many, so much in 1 year. Leadership newspaper, 13 days to December 1 deadline. Ministries, departments, and agencies foot drag over compulsory COVID-19 vaccination for workers. Vaccination is voluntary. Workers are insisting they are waiting memo. Federal government launches massive vaccination campaign on Friday, says there are enough vaccines, manpower to do the job. Now, those civil servants who are still foot dragging, when they are booted out, they should not complain because it is a directive from their employers, the federal government. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, tree felling on the rise as cooking gas prices skyrockets. Households, restaurants resort to firewood, charcoal. Is a threat to human existence. Experts are saying, if I just read what the experts are saying, experts describe the development as dangerous, saying it has reversed the little achievements recorded by the federal government in the last few years, during which cooking gas burners were shared in towns and villages to discourage tree felling occasioned by climate change. Now, this is a major problem in the country today. Cooking gas. Somebody should not tell me it is also not for the poor. But if we look at the Business Day newspaper, pension funds embrace stocks as bond yields declined. Yes, pension fund administrators, they are okay. Now, let's just look at a few foreign newspapers quickly. Now, the Times of UK, Tory MPs set to revolt over ban on second job. Yes, Boris Johnson is facing a confrontation with his backbenchers today as he pushes for MPs to be banned from taking on second jobs as consultants. Now, the New York Times newspaper, Americans dread rising inflation, but spend freely using pandemic savings. Record orders for goods as snarling global supply chains. Yes, American consumers are dull about the economy. Of course, they are worried about inflation and pessimistic about the direction of the country in general. But none of that is keeping them from spending and spending. Ruben Rufai.
Well, quickly, Emmanuel Efene, a quick comment on the lead story in this day about the NSAS report that was submitted in Lagos. We have commented on it, but it looks like there seems to be a consensus out there that the state government, the federal government of Nigeria, should accept and act on the recommendations of the Justice Doris Okuwobi panel. We said yesterday that that was a very courageous report. It was very clear that this was an independent panel, and the panel has shown the courage of his conviction, not minding whose ox is God. The U.S. mission has made the recommendation. Femi Falana, SAN, has also said, look, this report must be followed up. Yesterday, we had Mr. Atedo Peterside on this program, and he too told the same line. The only thing that I find curious, and we commented on it earlier, was the position of the Chief of Defense Staff, yes, General Loki Rabo, who was visiting military formations in Edo State yesterday. And he was talking about white paper, commenting on a report that he has not read. Public officials should be well advised. Don't comment on what you have not read. You know, it doesn't look like a sign of seriousness. And I hope that the Chief of Defense Staff will, you know, avail himself of the opportunity to read that 309 report before he begins to make comments and act in a defensive manner, because that's what I got, you know, from his reaction.
Right, there's so much to be said, but we'll leave it till tomorrow. That's why we come here every day on the morning show.
Well, thank you very much, Emmanuel Efene. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.